Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the Chairpersonship in Office of North Macedonia for their work throughout the year. We are also grateful to participating states standing with Ukraine in the fight for our freedom, contributing to defending of the OSCE future. Today we also pay tribute to the courageous men and women who stood to fight against the Russian aggressor and gave their lives to defend the principles our organization rests on. We also remember those killed and tortured civilians by Russia in its war, which continues to be enabled by the diplomats sitting behind the nameplate Russian Federation. This is also really too much honor for those who mock the Helsinki Final Act. Excellencies, here I have 5 grains burned by Russia with the Iranian drones in Ismail. Russia has destroyed hundreds of thousands of tons of grain, thus depriving families around the globe of essential food, as Ukrainians in 1932-33 during the Holodomor. According to the Soviet 5 spikelets law introduced in 1932, Ukrainians, desperate to feed their children, were forbidden even to glean the spikelets left behind in the fields. A few grains, as in this box, were a reason for a severe punishment. But Moscow has never been punished for such kind of horrible crimes. This embodies impunity. The world needs a vaccine against attempts to weaponize food, including through the recognition of the Holodomor as an act of genocide. The Holodomor is also a stark reminder of many tries by Moscow to kill the Ukrainian identity. Killed civilians en masse, bombed cities, burned critical infrastructure, blown up Kakhovka Dam, deported and assimilated children, mine-contaminated fields, dehumanized Ukrainians, speak volumes about Russia's genocidal intentions today. The last 2 years have proved that the OSCE is of best use when we ignore Russia's blackmailing and when we talk with Russia from the united position of strength that relies on moral right. Otherwise, Russia will ask more and more concessions. And it is clear we cannot build the OSCE future with a country that kidnaps our future, our children. In 2024, in the 10th year of Russia's occupation of Crimea, the OSCE, as never before, needs strong leadership in defending the OSCE principles, further isolation of Russia's malign influence within the organization, and addressing Russia's aggression in all 3 dimensions. As Moscow remains focused on undermining our democracies and societies, including through election meddling, manipulation of public opinions, cyber attacks, weaponization of energy, migration, information, and so on, OSCE and its institutions are well mandated to contribute to elaborate a common vision of how to address these threats in particular and Russia's crisis in general. We need a long-term vision. While Moscow is trying to challenge our confidence that democracy could be defended on the battlefield, we must make it clear that the free world will never be tired to protecting freedom. We thank everyone in the world who is helping Ukraine to win this war. Strengthening Ukraine's defense capacities is paramount to ensure the protection of civilians, preserving critical infrastructure, and ultimately laying the groundwork for a lasting peace in Europe. We, like no others, we need peace, but not at any price. Russian forces must leave and Ukraine's territorial integrity must be restored. We are grateful to all who help us to bring this peace, including with the implementation of Ukraine's peace formula. It is the only way to restore respect to the rules and principles of the UN Charter, Helsinki Final Act, and the rules-based international order. Last but not least, these grains in my hand, which I showed to you, demand for justice to be delivered, including through the establishment of a special tribunal for the crime of aggression against Ukraine. The OSCE has capacity to contribute to accountability efforts by documenting Russia's ongoing atrocities and violation of international humanitarian law in Ukraine. This is for the sake of future generations. Esteemed colleagues, to conclude, let me once again to express our gratitude to Minister Bujar Osmani and his able team for successfully steering the work of organizations throughout the year. We look forward to closely cooperation with the next CIO and all participating states towards strengthening our organization and restoring respect for the core OSCE principles and commitments. The full text of my statement will be distributed, and I thank you very much, Madam Chairperson.